Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Way to Fluency. I'm Clara.
And I'm David. It's fantastic to be with you all again, ready for another practical English lesson.
Today, we're tackling a topic that is both super practical and a little bit intimidating for many of our listeners: how to order food in English. Whether you're in a big city or a small town, eating out is a huge part of the experience, and we want you to feel completely comfortable doing it.
That's right, Clara. We know the feeling. You walk into a restaurant in an English-speaking country, the waiter comes to your table, and suddenly all your English vocabulary seems to disappear. We've all been there. The good news is a lot of the language used in restaurants is predictable. Once you know a few key phrases, you'll be able to navigate almost any situation.
Our goal today is to give you the confidence to navigate any dining situation, from a casual coffee shop to a fine dining restaurant. We'll give you the exact phrases native speakers use so you can sound natural and confident, not just correct.
We'll cover everything from getting a table to asking for the bill, and even some small talk. So, get ready to practice, because by the end of this episode, you'll be a pro at ordering your next meal in English.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. You've just walked into the restaurant. What's the first thing you need to do? You're usually greeted by a host or hostess.
Exactly. The host will usually be the first person you talk to. They'll greet you and ask you how many people are in your group. You'll probably hear something like, "Hi, how many?" or "How many in your party?"
Party, here is just a friendly way of saying your group of people. So, a simple and direct response is best. If there are two of you, just say, "Two, please." If you're a group of four, say, "There are four of us," or "A table for four, please."
What if you already have a reservation, Clara? This is a great tip to show you're on top of things.
You should mention that immediately. The best way is to say, "I have a reservation for," your name at the time. For example, "I have a reservation under the name Clara at 7 p.m. Or if you're a little unsure, you can say, "We have a reservation. It should be under the name Clara."
Now, let's talk about the situation when you want to choose where you sit. What if you want to sit outside?
That's a great question, David. This is where you can use slightly more specific language. You could ask, "Could we get a table outside?" Or, "Is it possible to sit on the patio?" The word patio is a very common term for an outdoor seating area.
Or what if you're in a group and want to sit together? You could say, "We'd prefer a bigger table if you have one." Or, "Is there a large table available for our group of 6? This shows that you can express your preferences clearly.
And let's not forget the opposite situation. What if the restaurant is full?
The host will typically say something like, "There will be a 15-minute wait," or, "I can put your name on the list. It will be about 20 minutes. Your response should be as simple and polite. "Okay, thank you," or "That's fine. We'll wait."
If you didn't hear the time correctly, it's okay to ask, "How long is the wait?" Or, "What is the estimated waiting time?" Remember, it's always better to ask than to be confused and anxious.
The key here is to be polite and confident. You're not just a tourist, you're a customer. You're simply communicating your needs. Once you're seated, the waiter will bring the menus and possibly ask you about drinks. But first, let's talk about the structure of the menu itself.
Menus in English-speaking countries are usually divided into sections. The most common ones are appetizers or starters. These are small dishes to begin with. Main courses or entrees, the main dishes, the big meal. Sides, small dishes that accompany the main course, like fries, rice, or salad. And of course, desserts, the sweet things at the end.
It's super helpful to know these terms. Sometimes, you might see a section for specials or today's specials. These are dishes that are not on the regular menu and are only available for that day. They're often the chef's recommendation, and they can be delicious.
It's totally okay to ask about the specials. You can say, "What are the specials today?" Or, "Do you have any recommendations?" Asking for recommendations is a great way to start a conversation and get some insider tips. You could also try, "What's the most popular dish?" Or, "What do you recommend for a first-timer?"
Now, let's address a very common problem. What if you don't understand a specific word on the menu?
This happens to all of us, even native speakers. The best way is to be direct and friendly. Just point to the item and ask, "What is this?" Or, "Could you explain what the name of the dish is?" For example, Could you explain what crab cakes are?
And this is a great opportunity to ask about ingredients, especially if you have a food allergy. It's not just about a preference, it's about your health. You can say, does this dish have nuts in it? Or, I'm allergic to seafood. Is there any seafood in this dish? The waiter is there to help, and they're trained to handle these questions.
Another crucial question is about how the food is prepared. If you're ordering a steak, for example, they'll ask you, how would you like your steak cooked? You'll need to know the common options: rare, very red inside, medium rare, medium well, or well done, cooked all the way through, no pink.
Having these words ready in your mind is key to sounding confident and getting exactly what you want.
Okay, we've looked at the menu, we understand the options, and now it's time to actually order. How do we do that politely and clearly?
This is where you can shine, Clara. There are 3 simple phrases that are your best friends here. They're all very natural. The most common one is, I'll have the. It's a short and sweet way of saying, I will have the. For example, I'll have the chicken sandwich.
Another great option is, I'd like the. This is slightly more formal, but still very common and polite. You could say, I'd like the pasta, please. And for a quick, confident choice, you can simply say, could I get the. For example, could I get the steak and a glass of water?
So a full sentence might sound like this. For my main course, I'll have the fish of the day, and I'd like a glass of iced tea with that. It's clear, polite, and confident. Don't forget to include your drink order if you haven't already.
What if you want to make a special request? This is where many people get nervous. Let's say you don't like onions on your burger.
This is a fantastic point. This is a very common situation, and the waiter is used to it. The key here is to use a specific, polite request. You can say, could I have the burger without onions, please? Or, please hold the onions. The phrase hold means to not include it.
Another great example is asking for a side dish to be changed. Let's say the burger comes with fries, but you want a salad instead. You could ask, is it possible to get a side salad instead of fries? Or could I substitute the fries for a salad? The verb substitute is perfect for this.
And let's not forget about sauces or dressings. Some people prefer them on the side. You can say, could I have the dressing on the side? This is a super common request, and it shows you're comfortable with the language.
What if you're feeling a little adventurous and you want to try something but you're not sure about the spice level?
You can ask, is this dish very spicy? Or could you please make it less spicy? Or if you're a fan of spicy food, you could even ask, could you make it extra spicy? This is a great way to personalize your order and get exactly what you want.
Another useful phrase for modifying an order is to say, could I have? Followed by exactly what you want. For example, could I have the salad with the dressing on the side and no cheese? This shows you're in control and can communicate complex requests.
Now, let's talk about what happens if something goes wrong. Maybe your order isn't quite right, or the food isn't what you expected.
This can feel awkward, but it's important to know how to handle it. First, get the waiter's attention politely. You can make eye contact and raise your hand slightly, or simply wait for them to pass by. When they come to your table, be calm and specific.
You can say, excuse me, I think there's a mistake with my order. Then, explain what's wrong. For example, I ordered the chicken, but this looks like fish, or my salad has cheese on it, but I requested it without cheese.
The waiter will usually apologize and offer to fix it for you. You can say, thank you, I'd really appreciate that. The phrase, I'd appreciate that, is a very polite and natural way to accept their offer. Or, if you're not happy with the meal at all, you might say, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can eat this. Could I order something else?
This kind of direct, but polite communication is key. They want you to have a good experience, so don't be afraid to speak up. It's part of the dining experience, even for native speakers.
Another scenario. What if you need something during your meal, like more water, a napkin, or another fork?
You can wait for the waiter to pass by and say, excuse me, can I get some more water? Or, could we have some extra napkins? Or, you could even ask, could I have another fork, please? Using could I or could we is always the most polite way to ask for something.
It's also good to know how to ask for a takeaway box, which is very common in many countries. After your meal, you can say, Could I get a box for my leftovers? Or could you wrap this up for me, please? To wrap something up means to put in a box to take away. The meal was delicious, and now it's time to pay. What's the best way to get the waiter's attention and ask for the check?
The most common phrases are, could we get the check, please? Or can we have the bill, please? You can also just make eye contact with the waiter and say, check, please.
Yes, both check and bill are used interchangeably in most places, but check is more common in the United States, while bill is more frequent in the UK. It's good to know both.
What about if you're in a hurry? You can say, could we get the check whenever you have a moment? Or we're ready for the check when you are. This shows you're being patient and polite.
What if you need to pay with a specific card?
The waiter might ask, will you be paying with cash or card? You can simply say, card, please. Or if you have a specific type of card, you can say, I'll be paying with a credit card, or we'll be paying with a debit card.
And what about the tricky situation of splitting the bill? This is a very common scenario.
Absolutely. The best way to ask is, could we split the bill, or could we pay separately? If you're a group of 3 and want to split the bill evenly, you can say, could we split the bill 3 ways? This is a very clear and common phrase.
If you and a friend want to split the bill, but you want to pay for specific items, you can say, could we split the bill? I'll pay for the main course, and my friend will pay for the dessert. Or, if you want to be very clear, you can say, we'd like to split the bill. I'll take items A and B, and he'll take items C and D.
The waiter will usually ask you how you'd like to split it. This is your chance to explain. Don't be afraid to be specific.
Tipping can be confusing for many people. Let's clarify this a bit.
Tipping, or leaving a tip, is a way of showing appreciation for good service. In the United States, a standard tip for good service is typically 15 to 20% of the total bill.
In some other countries, a service charge might be included in the bill. If you see service included or gratuity included on your bill, you usually don't need to leave an extra tip.
If the service was excellent, you might leave a bit more. If the service was poor, you can leave less or nothing at all, but that's generally for very bad service.
When you're paying with a card, the machine will usually prompt you to enter the tip amount. You can choose to add a percentage or a specific dollar amount. If you're paying with cash, you can leave the money and the tip on the table.
After paying, you want to thank the waiter. A simple thank you very much, or the food was delicious, thank you, is perfect.
And as you leave, a quick have a great day or thanks for everything to the host or hostess is a nice touch.
It shows respect and leaves a positive impression, all while practicing your English in a very natural way.
So there you have it. From walking in the door to walking out with a satisfied stomach, you now have the phrases and confidence to order food in English like a native speaker.
The key is to practice these phrases. Try them out with a friend, or even just say them out loud to yourself. The more you practice, the more natural they will become.
We hope this episode helps you feel more comfortable and ready for your next dining adventure. We'd love to hear about your experiences. What's your favorite food to order when you're out? Share your thoughts and tips in the comments below.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, Way to Fluency, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.
Your support helps us create more content just like this. Thank you so much for joining us on Way to Fluency.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
See you next time.